So let's go into Iceconoclasm now and finish up the ice caverns. Like the first level, this one is also pretty tough. You have a lot of tough enemies, sloping ground. I'm going to see if I can avoid getting hit so much by this guy. I'm going to have to take a little bit of damage to kill this fish. That freezing cold water is no fun. Okay, let's... Whoops. That is why that water is dangerous. There we go, that helps a little bit. And there's a lot of these guys around. I'm going to come around on the other side here. Oops, I don't want to deal with this many of the frogs. I think I'll use an arcane spell. There are uses to these arcane spells. Let's see if we can get just within range enough to hit him. Okay, I think there's another one of these guys around. Oh, I don't want to go back in the water. Where'd that frog go? Yeah, there he comes. Okay, I think I'm going to refill a little bit. I remember that through here, technically we really don't even have to go to this part. This is like the extra part of the level. The spell is above, but I want to refill a little bit, and these crystals are nice, easy access. There we go. That'll help us. So let's... okay, we cleared the monsters down here. I'm going to go ahead and use the save at the start of the level now. So this is 11-1. Okay, so there's this invulnerability power-up. We're going to come back to that. First, let's take this platform all the way up. This is one of the levels where I really like the atmosphere it's built. You get this sense of just being in an enormous underground cavern. See that background? This parallax scroll background. It's beautiful. And the music and everything. I think this is a very nice level. It's a very hard level, but it's a really nicely constructed level. Okay, so let's go and talk to this guy up here. Okay, so I have an abbot named Cedric. Brr, cold, so cold. Oh, hello, I'm Cedric. So what can I do for you? perfectly logical question, I think. What are you doing here? This used to be my home of my ancestors before it was frozen over by the glacier of the east. Everyone else left, but I stay here anyway because home is home, cold as it may be. Some call it daft, I call it loyalty and not forgetting your roots. Christine, got anything you might be willing to trade for? Well, I'm not a merchant, you understand, but I do have a few little seeds I found the last time I ventured to the surface. Would you be interested in those? So let's see what he has here. So, this character, Cedric, sells fire seeds. So Rajinko, as we just saw, he sells potions, and you can have, a couple of those. Elmer or Elber, the one in the upper cave, has a little bit harder to get items, the ice pick and the escape ring, but he's very hard to get to. This guy's pretty easy to get to. He sells fire seeds. You get plenty of them later in the game too, so I'll just go ahead and buy some so we have them on hand and we can see the text. Because why not? So buy 5 fire seeds. Here are a few fire seeds for you then. I hope they prove useful. So that's good. That increases our fire seed supply a little bit. Well, hello again, traveler. So what can I do for you? Now here's where, just like in Eastern Caverns, we have that character who told us about the statue spell being in the west. So we got that hint if we missed the entrance to the Western Caverns that was underwater in the Central Caverns. We get a hint here. If we come up to these ice walls and we can't get through, we can ask this character, do you know how I can break through ice walls? Ah yes, those ice walls can be pesky, always cropping up hither and yon. Well, it helps if you have an ice pick. That's an indispensable tool around these parts. Where might you find one? I know a fellow named Elber, who might have some for sale. He lives in the upper caverns, though, closer to the surface, and his home is well concealed. But perhaps you can find it. Good luck. So he gives you that hint. If you missed the entrance, and I think you're more likely to miss the entrance to that cavern to get the ice pick than you would be to miss the western cavern, but still, it tells you how you can get through the walls. And here we can get a little bit about the Manitraki, well, at least in dialogue. I don't think he says much, but thus far they've really only been mentioned in levels and, little whispers. What can you tell me about the Manitraki? So we get the sense that Ferazel is beginning to get an idea about the enemy. Shh, not so loud. I know nothing about them. Nothing. And you don't either. If you don't either, then count yourself lucky. So I guess that's what he has to say about that. Not a whole lot. Did we kill everybody? I think there's another secret area up here. Yes, there is. Okay. I want that red Zycron. Excellent. Okay, so we're getting more red Zycrons now. Okay, so now we're going to have to go up still. We haven't done that part. Because the main thing we need out of this level is the Ice Wall spell. We got the Ice Pick in the last level. We'll need that later in the game. And the Ice Wall, we need too. It is a very useful spell for all sorts of things. I think I'm going to just go back and get this again. This one respawns. I was trying to get all the Zycrons. One of these guys. Not so bad, actually. Let's get more magic power. Alright. Let's keep on going through here. I think we're going to have to use Ice Wall to get up there, actually. It is a very useful spell. It does a couple different things that we'll get to see. Oh, one of these guys, great. I'd like to avoid this guy. Seems unavoidable. Okay. Here we go. Ice Wall. So we get this new spell down here, the Ice Wall. Very useful spell. Let's see one of the things it can do now. So when you shoot at a wall, it actually gives you a platform to go stand on, which proved useful in this case. But it can also be used to float across freezing water, and it's also a very powerful spell. So it does a lot of damage. So when you need to inflict a lot of damage, like very tough enemies, Ice Wall is a good pick, because it does do a lot of damage. I'm not getting much anywhere with this. I must have already used that one. Okay. It's hard to tell. I think this one is available. Okay, there we go. That's better. Alright, so we got the main thing we need out of this level. This first part here where we got, killed the enemies, got the red Zycron. The main thing we got is this Ice Wall, because it's useful for climbing walls. It floats you across things. So you can stop here if you want to. I am going to go ahead and save and proceed through the level, and we'll get to use Ice Wall, actually, for its ability to float across the river there. Okay, so let's go. So see, it actually makes a platform that we can jump across, and we can glide across on here, which is a very useful ability. Can help keep our health up. So that's good. There we go. Okay, so we're fully recharged. Let's save being on the other side of this river here. The reason I'm going to save here, there's not another save for a little while, as I recall. But I'd like to get to the secret area. There's a secret area over to the left here. It's very hard to get to. Probably at least as hard or harder than the platforms that you have to jump across with invulnerability. Sometimes you get lucky, you get across really easily, but can be really hard. Erica suggests freezing these platforms because you can use the stone spell to freeze them like that. So that does help. Another thing I found that is useful is you can actually jump onto... Whoops. You know what? That is not what I wanted to do at all. I'm just going to go back to my save, let it continue. That's why I saved right there, so I can go back to it, because I know this is a really tricky part. I need more silly music while I try it. But you can actually stand on those little tiny platforms that the spike balls are attached to, and that can help make it a little easier too. But it's a very hard thing, certainly as hard as the others. These ice levels have a lot of tricky parts to them. Alright, so the goal is to get from this side to the other, and we'll just try until we get there.
Let's try it.
Aha, finally made it over here. This is a very, very hard area to reach, no matter how you do it. Even if you use the platforms with the spiky balls, I mean, you can make it a little bit easier, I guess, on yourself, but it's still... I wonder if I can swim across while I still have my vulnerability. It's still pretty hard. Interestingly, when I was swimming in that water, I think my shields kill a fish. I think there's a fish down there. I didn't know that before, but I think there is, because I heard a sound. That might explain. I think in Erica's guide she said that she can only get 98% of the enemies, which probably means there is a fish in that water that no one really had known about. That was an interesting coincidence. Thankfully, some regeneration is nearby. It has been long enough. Oh, interesting. So the shields actually do damage these. I did not realize that. But when I have my Penta whatever shield up, it did do damage. Not as much as the Ice Pick. Usually an Ice Pick takes 4, but it made it take 2. So I guess it maybe does half the damage of an Ice Pick. I'm not sure. But that's interesting. So anyhow, here we are. This is, I mean, when I said these levels are hard, they are some of the toughest, just because of that. It's probably the toughest. The fire levels are tricky, but really, it's in their own way, because they're kind of timed. You just have to decide you're not going to do everything on the fire level. I really don't, typically. But in the ice levels you can, they're just difficult. Alright, let's save here, because we finally get to the next save. We got a pretty good set of things done. And we have some Zeridian brine nearby, so this is a pretty good area if we can possibly keep to it. Keep getting back here would be pretty good. Alright, let's go over here. Then down. Alright, so these spikes are going to try to throw me into... I guess the springs want to throw me into the spikes, and the spikes are always going to be in the way. Let's get this guy. Yeah, even with multi-crystals, the boomerangs are still not that mana costly. Anytime you think this level is going to give you goodies, just know it's not. All these boxes will have... Oh, I guess that one doesn't. Oh, that had a key. Okay, so we needed that key. I just remember, always be careful of boxes in the ice levels, because they typically aren't good. Oh, that's not so bad. But that makes up for it. Let's keep going up and see what's up here. Okay, here's a case of a button that will need to be depressed to stay. Probably a door we need. You know, every level of Ferazel has its own interesting things. These ice levels have these snowballs that, as you roll them, they actually get larger. It doesn't need to be very large for us. Oh, there go my multi-crystals. It just needs to keep that button down. Alright, let's go regenerate again. And let's progress onward. Yeah, for some reason I think the door might have been over this teleporter or something. That's not fair. Okay, we need more of these. I think I might have to use a magic potion here in a moment, if we don't get some green crystals soon. Nope, that's not green crystals. I'm hoping for some green crystals. Okay, yet again, not. So, let's use one of our magic potions. I mean, we could kill the guy with a knife, and probably there is magic soon. Okay, there was where our silver key opens, so we had to have that. But I would rather have some magic on hand, because the enemies are pretty tough in here. So that's one of the reasons you get to have a couple magic potions. Okay. Let's save again. I wonder if I can make it back to the Iridium. So one of the things I do in this game is I try to heal up as often as possible. I'm going to see. I might have to go back to my save if this really does not work out, but I'm going to try to... Oh, that's interesting. What is up there? Okay. Can I possibly... No, that's... I think I can just make it back to regenerate. It's a good thing you get more health and magic, because if you can imagine the amount of health you had at the beginning levels, at these levels it just, you wouldn't be able to survive. I am not very satisfied with that amount of damage. I should be able to get up there pretty damage free. Just being a little more cautious. Well, Okay, one set of damage isn't so bad. Alright, I give up. We'll just progress and see what we have available to us here. So let's go up. I think that is the direction Erica recommends too, because I think the way on is down. Alright, how do we want to do this? Okay. I'm gonna have to take some damage, I'm afraid, to get these things. Huh. How am I gonna get him? I have a bit of a problem here on my hands. Now, see, since I didn't die, I could use my res necklace. Oh! Now that's an interesting bug. I found a bug. I'm not supposed to be able to be back here yet. But I'm not going to use my res necklace yet. I'm going to go back to my save. So that's what the res necklace looks like if you want to see resurrection. But I don't think we need to use it yet. I'm pretty sure that we don't. So I am going to go back and try to regenerate again and do it right this time. Because if I have a little more health, I think I can get that blob. Oh yeah, so that is the door that got opened by the switch. This. That slime poses a bit of a problem because he's on a platform edge where I don't know how easily I can I don't know how easily I can get to him and kill him. Which is what I need to do if I want to have full enemy credit. Oh, that's an interesting bug, okay. Oh, I think I killed him. Okay. I did kill him. That wasn't too bad. Alright, I'm gonna try to... I think I've used the ice pick on this wall. See, they're quite tough. He took a lot of damage there. Alright. Oh, great. More frogs. How is he up there? There is some interesting glitches going on. I guess it's because I exited to the menu and came back. Maybe it's a memory problem. I'm not sure I've really witnessed them with this level so much. You know, I have to wonder if I can possibly make it back for regeneration again. These levels, they don't give you much to go on, so you have to make do with what you have. There we go. Alright, so we should have all the enemies so far. Whoops. Don't know what's going on there. I think my split screen tried to activate for a second there, but looks like we're good now. Yeah, you can see kind of a graphical glitch there. This level does have some. And this is, no doubt about it, I mean, this is a hard level. This is pretty brutal. Huh. Okay. Ah, yeah, there's some Zeridian brine there. I want to try to get to that. They don't make it easy. Let's get back to our regular. I think I have to do a run jump over that to make it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we got to there. Okay, this isn't gonna work. Now let's see if we can get to the other side of here. Oh, that's interesting. My boomerang comes back to me anyways. Kind of a neat effect. Okay, so let's just drop through now. I think we... Oh, well, that wasn't very nice. Okay, I think we did everything up there. So now it's time to go down here. Alright, let's try to get this guy before he can jump through to us. Yeah, this is where we fell down through when we resurrected. Maybe that's what caused the glitch. Yeah. These sprites aren't loading anymore. These are the little blue slime balls that we saw. I wonder if this is a memory issue I'm encountering. Oh well, whatever the case. They're dead now. Now, we have to get across here. You know what, I'm just going to run across it because I don't see how I'm going to make it across with the current fighting me. Okay, we should be nearing the end. I think this is the last region, kind of. So we can kind of just slide down this like we would with the rail carts, because it's ice. And we'll just pick up all the Zycrons on the way. Okay, oops, I need to move faster than that. At least I'll get some health out of this. Yeah, that'll help. Alright, we need to roll this ball bigger to be able to jump up there. We could actually use the tree trunk spell as well. Like, we could just use the tree trunk to jump up there. But if you didn't have the tree trunk spell, for instance, if you went this way instead of the Goblin Chief first, you would have to rely on this method of making larger snowballs. So, there's a lot of stuff this game does. But as you saw too, that's not without some bugs. Obviously, I think we're having a memory problem with loading some of the sprites. But still, I want him to come down here and fight me. Here we go. Oh, if he's stuck behind there, I can shoot him to my heart's content. I don't know if there's any more saves in this level. I think that's about it. You kind of have to go a long ways without a save. Might have to use another magic potion if we have to. They're pretty cheap, thankfully, and I think we've recovered most of our cost. Yeah, that'll help. Some money. I think we're not really missing anything here. Okay, we got him. I don't really want to be shot if I can avoid it. Okay. Alright, let's see if we got everything. Yeah, I think we might have done. Oh, okay, you know what? I thought it was the enemies that were 98%, but I think it's the Zycrons that are 98%. Yeah, Zycrons are 98%. I thought I might have found an enemy that Erica hadn't found, but nope. It was a Zycron missing, and I couldn't find it in this one either. We found the one in Unemployed in Greenland. They were kind of buried to the side, but we couldn't find this one. Alright, so you notice nothing else opens up. It's because we have finished the ice levels. We left that, we got everything that we could get, and we finished Iceconoclasm. Those were very tough levels. We used, health potions. You got to see what the res necklace looked like. And they have a lot of environmental hazards, jumping hazards. Very, very hard levels, those are. So we finished there, and it's time to go off into the ruins and into the mountains next. So we'll pick up there.